Yo, first there's the accusation that playing video games is a waste of time. Anyone who says that must ask themselves, do I spend any time watching television, watching porn, gossiping, sexting, playing practical jokes, aimlessly surfing the internet, playing cards or other games of chance, gambling, going to strip clubs, bars, or rock concerts, doing unnecessary shopping, or doing things without a plan? Only if the answer is no to all such things does one have the right to complain that video games waste time. Besides, playing video games causes you to develop skill, unlike the other aforementioned activities. Another complaint is that video gamers unwisely use these games to avoid dealing with people. However, there are many people that you should avoid dealing with, as they do not deal fairly. It's like they use their own fake deck of cards comprised of all aces, and all of society is rigged to some extent. However, certain video games are bad and immoral. They are games where a player's character needlessly kills people, rapes, steals cars, deals drugs, is a mafia member, engages in gratuitous brutality or torture, puts out fires with vomit, and such like. Even if such games never incite players to duplicate such deeds in real life, players would actually be doing these activities in a sense, since we are our mind. Nothing good can come from such games, only negativity. Playing such games is sinful according to Christianity. Scripture 2 Corinthians 10:5 instructs us to bring every thought to the obedience of Christ. Taking that into consideration, coupled with making sure that video game playing never interferes with our important obligations, video gaming is certainly a worthy hobby. Besides, playing video games is far more economical than most hobbies. You can play many video games for free off the internet and check out video games from your local library. They used to sell an Arcade Classics DVD on eBay that had 1,500 old school games on one disc. Sadly, it's no longer available. A good source of games is the Internet Arcade on the Internet Archive's website, or Vubi. Another criticism is that some people are too old to play video games. Nonsense! Since video games reward years of playing experience, they actually seem designed for older people. For example, as a teenager, I was the worst video gamer on earth. Not only did I get scores of 0, at an arcade called Fus Nucleus, I failed to even start a game since I tried to feed quarters into a small speaker, which I mistook for a coin slot. Now I'm a better player than more than half of people who play video games semi-regularly or regularly. So maybe by the time I'm 85, I'll be world champion at some games. Who knows? And if I end up a 100-year-old man who likes playing games featuring cute cartoon characters, that'd be my prerogative. Don't let ignorant, judgmental, or negative people spoil your life. Old school video games are usually far more challenging and require more skill than modern games. Old school games are those that originally came out as arcade machines. Those games were usually designed to be as tough as possible, making games as short as possible, so players would have to keep feeding money into them every 2 minutes to continue playing. Modern games, however, which went directly to DVD, are often easy enough to play for long periods of time without starting a new game, thereby making players feel victorious and therefore making them want to buy other games they can seemingly conquer. However, some so-called old school games found on the internet are cheap imitations of official games. For example, I sought out the hardest version of so-called original Space Invaders on the net I was able to find. I was able to score over 380,000 points, while a couple other people scored 400,000 and 500,000. Yet the world record high score for Space Invaders was only 110,000. After discovering a close facsimile of the original Space Invaders off a disc, which looks identical to the fake versions, I found that I could score only a little over 3,000. So while most games you could find on the net are good for unskilled players or to see how a game may be like, serious players must make sure they're using the real deal. Yet for most people, It's best to compete against yourself and not be concerned over what others do or do not score. Most of my favorite games in alphabetical order are Asteroids Deluxe, Big Karnak, Bubbles, Burger Time, Centipede, Changes, Chicken Shift, Congo Bongo, Defender, Donkey Kong Jr., Frogger, Galaga, Galaga 88, Galaxian, Gapless, Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, Gyrus, Joust, Joust 2, Junior Pac-Man, Logger, Mario Brothers, Marvin's Maze, Metal Black, Millipede, Monster Bash, Ms. Pac-Man, Pac-Mania, Pengo, Popper, Q*bert, R-Type, R-Type Leo, Robotron 2084, Samurai Aces, Satan's Hollow, Scrambled Egg, Space Attack, Space Duel, Space Invaders 2, Space Invaders 95, Space Zap, Star Castle, Stargate, Super Burger Time, Super Glob, Super Mario Brothers, Super Pac-Man, Super Space Invaders 91, Tempest, Tenjay, Time Pilot 84, Trog, and Vulcan Venture. We have white and Asian men to thank for creating video games. There are very few exceptions, such as Centipede, which was designed by a woman. Video games illustrate certain aspects of my philosophy. First, almost every playing field has one solitary good guy, while everyone else is a bad guy. That's the exact opposite of the world's false notion that the majority is right. And we understand that despite being clobbered by the machine at the end of each game, you're never a loser if you keep trying. And the only right way to play is to conform to the natural rules of the game, which we should also apply to everyday life. Take care.